Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to discuss the main characters in the river between Bayang Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o, as well as other interesting parts of the novel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future uploads. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to get to them. But without further ado, let's get started. If you haven't read the book, then there are spoilers ahead. So if you have read the book, feel free to pause this video and go read the book again. For those who have already watched my previous video, welcome back. You guys really helped me gain subscribers, so thank you. And now let's continue discussing the novel. Let's start with Waiyaki. He is the main protagonist of the story. Waiyaki is portrayed as a very hard-working man from the beginning of the novel when he saved some goats from drowning while he was hurting. This portrays him as a caring person because even though the goats belong to his enemy, he still saved their lives. As the novel progresses, we find out that Waiyaki is also a brave man. When the colonial government officials came to demolish Makuyu's hut, he bravely stood up against them despite knowing that they had guns. This bravery leads to his arrest and imprisonment for a whole year. Even after all this mistreatment, Waiyaki still remains strong and hopeful for Gikuyu land. His strength is tested when he escapes prison and tries to lead a rebellion against the British settlers. Unfortunately, his plans fail, and he ends up getting captured and killed by the British. Waiyaki's father is called Kameno. He is a drunkard and an abusive father. From the beginning of the novel, we see how much of a problem he is to his family. He beats up his wife and children and does not care about how they feel. He's also a traitor because he sides with the British against his own people. He does this because he has been bought over by liquor and cigarettes. In fact, it is through his daughter that the British discover where Waiyaki is hiding. It is no wonder why Waiyaki did not like his father. And when Waiyaki's father dies, he feels no remorse, but instead remains firm on his mission to fight for Gikuyu land. Now, let's talk about Nyambura. She is the love interest of Waiyaki. Their relationship is quite unique because they met when she was a young girl and they grew up together. They end up getting married according to Gikuyu customs. Although Nyambura comes from a wealthy family, she is not spoiled or arrogant. She is portrayed as a humble and obedient woman who respects elders. One thing that stands out about her character is that she is brave enough to go against her own father. This happens when her father wants to forcefully marry her off to a man she doesn't know. Despite her father being a powerful chief, she stands up against him and refuses to accept the marriage proposal. This shows that even though women were oppressed at the time, there were still some brave women who knew what they wanted and weren't afraid to speak up. Another thing that makes her a strong female character is that she goes to live with Waiyaki in the forest, even though life there is extremely difficult. Thiong'o is another important male character in the novel. He is one of the sons of Kameno, Waiyaki's father. Unlike his half-brother Waiyaki, Thiong'o is portrayed as a weak and indecisive person. He is a coward who always sides with the oppressors. This is evident when he betrays Waiyaki and their people and reveals where Waiyaki is hiding to the colonial government officials. Thiong'o is also greedy and selfish. After his father's death, he takes advantage of his mother and brothers, exploiting their labor to benefit himself. Thiong'o has no sympathy for his own family, and he would do anything to protect his own skin. He truly is the embodiment of a traitor. Another important character in the novel is Kameno. He is the leader of the Gikuyu society. His name means the old lion, symbolizes his strength and bravery, which are essential qualities of a good leader. Kameno is very wise and intelligent. He is able to outsmart the British settlers many times throughout the novel. For example, when the settlers wanted to trick him into accepting Christianity, he pretended to convert but secretly continued practicing his religion. Kameno is also a very respected member of the community. Everyone listens to him and follows his advice. However, he is too trusting and optimistic. This causes him to fall into the traps set by the missionaries and the colonial government officials. He genuinely believes that the white people can coexist with the Africans. Unfortunately, this belief costs him his life when he is hanged by the British. Next up, we have Joshua. He is one of the Gikuyu men who embrace Christianity. Joshua is portrayed as a weak and indecisive person who is easily influenced by others. He pretends to be a great preacher, but his teachings are empty and hypocritical. Joshua is also a coward. Instead of standing up for his beliefs, he runs away when the Gikuyu are being attacked by the colonial police force. He is the type of person who only speaks when he knows his words will not get him into trouble. Joshua is greedy and selfish. He cares more about saving himself than helping others. He's truly a disgrace to the Gikuyu community. One of the most interesting parts of the novel is when the Gikuyu people performed the Kiamakia ritual. This is an important part of the story because it shows the power of Gikuyu traditions. During this ceremony, members of the Gikuyu community came together to discuss important issues affecting their society. They also made decisions that would affect everyone. The Kiamakia was led by Kibanya, who was considered to be the most respected member of the community. The ceremony began with a lot of preparation. Members of the Gikuyu community had to sacrifice a goat and sprinkle its blood around the meeting area. This was done to purify the area and to show their commitment to their traditions. Once the area had been purified, the men sat in a circle and discussed the problems facing their society. They talked about the effects of colonialism and how it was destroying their way of life. They also discussed how they could resist the British settlers and protect their land. The atmosphere was tense as the Gikuyu men argued about what to do. Some wanted to fight back against the settlers, while others wanted to remain peaceful. Ultimately, they decided to remain non-violent and to continue resisting the British settlers through peaceful means. Another interesting part of the novel is when Waiyaki escaped from prison. This was a pivotal moment in the story, because it showed that the Gikuyu people were not completely defeated by the British. Waiyaki had been arrested for leading a rebellion against the colonial government. He had been tortured and beaten, but he refused to give up. Eventually, he was put in solitary confinement, but he still refused to break down. One night, Waiyaki managed to escape from prison. He was determined to continue fighting for his people's freedom. This escape gave the Gikuyu people hope that they could win the war against the British. It showed them that the British were not invincible, and that they could be defeated. One of the most heartbreaking parts of the novel is when Waiyaki is captured and killed by the British. This was a tragic ending for such a heroic character. Waiyaki had fought for his people's freedom his entire life. He had been tortured and imprisoned, but he never gave up. In the end, however, he was captured and killed. This was a devastating blow to the Gikuyu people. It seemed as if all of their hopes and dreams for freedom were crushed along with Waiyaki. Nevertheless, Waiyaki's death was not in vain. It inspired the Gikuyu people to continue fighting for their freedom. They knew that they would never give up, no matter how difficult things got. Overall, The River Between is a powerful novel that explores the effects of colonialism on African society. Through the characters and plot, Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o tells a story of oppression and resistance that is both heartbreaking and inspiring. The novel also explores themes of love, family, and the importance of preserving one's culture in the face of adversity. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the characters and plot. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, just leave them in the comments section below and I'll try my best to get to them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next video.